Hello. Now, before we get started, I want you guys to do a little exercise for your brain in your groups. You guys should already be split up with your group leaders, and the game I want you guys to play is called Autobiography. Now, the objective of this game is to sum up your whole life story into one sentence. I know, it may be hard, but I'll start off and give you guys an example. My life story would be a vagabond who found a home within himself and loves bringing others to join his family. See, it's not that hard. I want you guys to take about 2 minutes with your groups. Think about it. Maybe if you have to write it down, you may. And after those 2 minutes, or whenever you're ready, share with the rest of your group so you guys can get to know each other a little bit more and see where you guys are from or what you guys have gone through. Now, while you guys play this game, I want to tell you a little bit more about myself. My name is Harrison Vickmark, and I am from the Rio Grande Valley, Texas, which is from right where the border is. And I currently go to school at Austin College, studying political science, philosophy, and economics, and I hope to go into law. Now, a couple of you guys may be wondering, what is leadership? Well, I view leadership at least, and I'll kind of tell you guys a little bit more about leadership because I took a class on this, but I view leadership as something where it has 3 prongs. Leadership requires passion, leadership requires inspiration, and leadership requires communication. Passion is important because you need to be able to be driven with yourself as a leader to reach a certain goal. And the basic definition of leadership is an individual who leads another group of people towards a certain goal. And as a leader, you need to be able to be passionate about what you want to see for that group or what goal you want to be achieved. And with that passion, that kind of leads into inspiration. You need to be able to inspire who you're leading. Because oftentimes, especially in today's world where we're all hung up on social media and our phones, we need to be able to inspire others to kind of step back away from their individual worlds to see what this group wants to reach. And that's oftentimes fighting apathy. Today we are kind of not wanting to be a part of something and kind of are careless about what's going around us. And with inspiration, we need to be able to inspire those people to care about this group that they're working with or care about the goals that they want to reach. And that requires communication. We need to be able to talk to other people. We need to put down our phones and kind of have that ability to speak to one another as human beings, be able to learn more about each other and be able to understand each other from where we're from and our cultural differences and whatnot. And that requires effective skills in communication. Now, I said a little bit before that I took a class on leadership. And as much as I would love to give you an entire summary of what that class, if I were to give you that summary, you guys would have to pay me because school is not cheap. But I will give you a little lesson on one of the types of leadership, and that types of leadership is servant leadership. Now, servant leadership was coined by Robert Greenleaf. And the idea of servant leadership is the natural feeling of a leader that wants to serve. They put their other people's priorities first. And examples of people who are servant leaders are people who work in non-governmental organizations or people who lead certain groups to reach certain goals that deal with human rights, like UN organizations, for example. And servant leaders just want to see the best in others and see human rights. To be a servant leader, there's about 10 qualities that servant leaders normally have, or principles, I should say. One of them is listening, empathy, healing, awareness, persuasion, conceptualization, foresight, stewardship, and building community. With these 10 principles, you'll be considered a servant leadership because servant leaders need to have that important connection with their followers. And kind of a huge theme that goes into leadership studies is the connection between a leader and a follower. Back then, when leadership was first being studied, there was this idea of the great man theory. And what that entailed was leaders were certain traits found in people. But in today's studies of leadership, anyone can be a leader. You don't need a certain pertinent trait to be a leader. And servant leaders are those who want to have others be leaders as well and seek the best in others.